we began our law school journey 3 years ago. This day signifies a big change in our lives. We went from law students to lawyers, from asking questions to giving answers, from paying tuition to paying donations. As a class, we've been through a lot together. An earthquake, a hurricane, blizzards, and a water main break separate the first day of orientation from today's commencement. Looking back, we all came to law school for different reasons. Some, like our distinguished LLM graduates, came to law school yearning to practice law in America. Others came to achieve their dreams of speaking in court. Still others came hungry for new ideas. I came because of limited career opportunities. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a firefighter, but I'm afraid of fire. Later, I wanted to be a pilot, but I'm afraid of heights. More recently, I wanted to be an astronaut, but I'm afraid of aliens. With my other career options dashed, I ended up in law school. Law school has been a difficult and humbling experience. The cold calling made me cower behind my computer screen in fear. Carrying around casebooks in my backpack, heavy casebooks, made me shrink physically. And then there was reading. Most days I read case law, read commentary on the case law, read analysis of the commentary, died, and magically woke up the next day. At times, I would look at my reflection in the mirror and ask myself, who am I? Then I would see my ATM bank statement and remember, oh, I'm a law student. Our commencement today is a time for reflection over the meaning of the last 3 years. It's a time to celebrate all we have accomplished academically while in the classroom. President George W. Bush has some celebratory words when it comes to academic excellence. President George W. Bush once said at a commencement ceremony much like this one that, to those of you who have received honors, awards, and distinctions, I say well done. And to the C students, I say, you too can be president of the Perhaps more importantly, our graduation today is a time to recognize all we've accomplished outside the classroom in internships and clinics. U.S. Attorney's Field Clinic and Prosecutor's Practicum, you put bad guys in jail. Criminal Defense Clinic, you got good guys out of jail. Law Department interns, you gave the mayor of New York City a voice. Civil Rights Clinic, you gave a forgotten and abused prison inmate a voice. Judicial interns, you helped courts settle problems that people could not settle themselves. Mediation Clinic, you help people settle problems one-on-one without going to court. Innocence Project, you're the reason a convicted man can be exonerated and spend his remaining days as a free man. Immigration Justice Clinic, you're the reason an immigrant woman could fight deportation and reach out for her share of the American dream. Now, I don't know what the world holds for us as licensed attorneys, but we did all these things as law students and without being paid. Still, on a more personal level, our attendance here today signifies the strength of our character. We finished what we started, we made it, we survived. However, credit for our achievements does not fall simply with ourselves. Rather, intertwined with our stories of struggling through law school are the stories of all those who loved and supported us throughout our journeys. It's the story of a professor who calls up an old friend to get a job for a student. It's a story of a dad who uses his retirement money to buy casebooks for his son. It's a story of a mom who sends cookies to her daughter with notes saying how proud she is of her. It's a story of a girl who stays up studying till 5 a.m. so her classmate won't have to study alone. It's a story of a guy who embraces a crying classmate and says, "Don't worry, you can do this. You can make it if you try." These are our stories now. As the seasons of life turn with their tragic joys, our memories of law school will change as we change. Still, it is the memories of law school that that will sustain us throughout our journeys into the legal profession. When the hours become long and the caseload's high, we can remember we're strong enough to get through it. When we face a new and complex legal problem, we can remember we're bright enough to handle it. When we lose a case or suffer defeat, we can remember we're not alone. In the end, we will always remember, if we can survive 3 years on kosher Chinese food, we can survive.